Well, asking why to find your purpose is the worst thing you could ever do, and I'll explain why. Let's dive and springboard right into this. With Ikigai, asking for why to find your purpose is the worst thing you could ever do. The trap of why, as a CEO, business owners over 40, you've likely spent countless hours pondering on the big why question. Why am I doing this? Why am I working on this project? Why did you get up in the morning? Why doesn't success feel fulfilling? Why can't I find my purpose? All of us CEOs and business owners are so used to this. Mommy, daddy, why are you always so mad when you come home from work? Well, because I have so many people on so many projects and they're all behind on schedule and very, very late. Oh, mommy and daddy, why are they behind on schedule? Well, because the sales team had a long weekend and they started on Tuesday, not Monday. Oh, mommy and daddy, why did they have to start on Tuesday? Well, since Monday was a holiday, mommy and daddy, why was Monday a holiday? Why? 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 As parents, we're so used to these parenting questions from our children. Why this? Why this? And a million whys get you nowhere. Did you ever answer your child, your son or your daughter's why questions and ever get to a real ending of that or a finalization? No, of course not. So same thing with Ikigai. Asking for why to find your purpose is the worst thing you could ever do. The trap of why, as a CEO, business owners over 40, you've likely spent countless hours pondering on the big why questions. Why am I doing this? Why am I working on this project? Why did you get up in the morning? Why doesn't success feel fulfilling? Why can't I find my purpose? But what if I told you that asking why is the worst thing you could do? It's detrimental, right? It sets you back forever, like all those child questions from your son or your daughter, right? It leads us, right? It gets us farther behind. So at the Cliff Diver's Edge, we've discovered a counterintuitive truth. The relentless pursuit of why often leads to a dead end, and especially for high achieving individuals in their prime years. And here's why. And here's how the Japanese concept of Ikigai offers a more powerful alternative. I decided to offer you a free gift, absolutely free. Now, I tell you all the time about how to springboard yourself from unhappy to radiantly happy in 30 days. But how am I going to tell you all about this and not provide the resources for you? There's so many questions people have online about how do I become more happy? What is my purpose and mission? What do I have to do to get out of this rut? How come I'm so unclear and unmotivated? What if I try something new and fail? When is life going to turn around for me? Why do I feel miserable all the time? Who can I reach out to that'll listen and help? Should I quit my job? Why am I such a failure? I don't feel happy in my relationship. Where did my happiness and passion go? Why do I let fear and procrastination control my life? How come I doubt myself and my limitations? Why do I have no energy and no time? The kids are out of the house, so I just retired. Now what? I hate my job or my partner, but I'm comfortable. How come my relationship is so mediocre and boring? Why do I have no friends? I hate the way I look. Where should I go to find a peak performance success coach? You see what I'm saying? So I decided to create a free training and give it to you absolutely free that you can utilize so you can learn how to soar beyond your limits and go from blurred to crystal clear to take one step towards having a reason, finding and doing what you love, waking up with that zest and a reason, and radiating to the world with your light. And how cool is this? To ultimately give back, shine, and level up the family, friends, and community around you. If you're ready to springboard and soar into the Cliff Diver's Edge, click the link below. My gift to you. So the problem with why. Let's tackle this really quick. The problem of why. It's too abstract. Why questions often lead to abstract philosophical answers that drift and don't really translate into actionable steps. And I like that word drift, right? It just drifts along. Sarah, a 52-year-old CEO, shared, I spent years asking my why, and I felt unfulfilled. All it did was send me down this rabbit hole of existential angst. I remember years ago when I was down and out and working at jobs that I hated, asking for why. I was like, why? Well, why am I getting up in the morning? Well, because I got to get to work. Why am I driving 1 hour to get to work? And I never really had a clear answer. So why tends to be dwelling on past decisions and circumstances, keeping you stuck instead of moving forward. John, a 48-year-old business owner, noted, constantly asking why I chose a career path only made me second guess every decision I've ever made. It can lead to overthinking. For analytical minds, why can trigger endless loops of introspection without resolution. All right, very, very important, right? For a lot of those analytical people, right, asking why. It gets into that sort of introspection a lot more. A lot of people say the more I asked why, the more paralyzed they become. And it was like this analysis paralysis. Is everyone familiar with that? The analysis paralysis. I'm going to do this weekend, but you overthink it and you overthink it and you go online and you study or research reviews or product reviews of the things you were going to buy, for that project, et cetera, et cetera. Right. So, where, a lot of it is like analysis paralysis on a bigger life scale. So let's enter Ikigai, the antidote to why. So Ikigai, the Japanese concept of finding joy in being, offers a refreshing alternative to the why trap. So if you're trapped into that why, you tuned into a perfect podcast for today, right? Getting rid of the why trap here on the Cliff Diver's Edge. So instead of abstract soul searching, Ikigai becomes more focused on 4 concrete elements: what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, what you can be paid for. By shifting your focus from, now check this out, this is the big aha moment here, from shifting your focus from why, right, that endless loop that keeps going on, right, over and over with no airport, no landing pad, right? So by shifting our focus from why to these tangible aspects, you can unlock a sense of purpose and directions that's been eluding you for months, years. Throw it in the comments below. How long have you been asking why? How long have you been feeling stuck, worried about life, wanting to jump to what we call on the Cliff Diver's Edge, take that dive or that catapult or that springboard into that new phase of your life? But as a business owner and a CEO, over 40, we've struggled, right? We got into that, what we were just talking about, that analysis paralysis, those procrastinations. So let's go right into this here and deflect or rebound away from why. Number 1, start with what. So start with what instead of why. Rather than asking why you're unfulfilled, why I woke up in the morning, why do I hate my job? Why did I hire that person? Why did I set that person up to be the manager of that project when everything is failing and just miserable all around? So what skills have I honed in on my career? What problems in the world ignite my passion? When we wake up fresh, when our eyes light up in the morning, what can I do right now that I love? Playing the piano, singing, running, exercising. What one thing can I do right now? So we just changed and rebounded away from why to what. What questions? Write it down. Just put a big in your notebook or whatever you're writing on. Maybe you're on your phone and you got the little notepad. Just put like what. Just ask yourself a ton of what questions this morning, this afternoon, tonight, and see how different this what question is and how it gets you out of that loop of why. Like we were talking earlier in the beginning of this podcast, as far as your son or your daughter asking why, and never getting to an end. Number 2 here, we're going to embrace experimentation. So instead of overthinking that analysis paralysis, like cliff divers, we only got 20 or 30 seconds to take that dive and make that dive happen, especially if we're in a competition. So we want to take action. Try new projects, roles, or initiatives within your company. Tom was 60 years old, and he was a entrepreneur that had 2 employees. But when he stopped asking why, he started trying new things. And what he said is he discovered passions he never knew he had. Number 3, we're going to be focusing on impact. So we're shifting our attention from internal questioning to external impact. And that's the power of Ikigai and what we could do for the community around us. How can your unique skills and position make a difference in the friends around you, in your family, in the team around you? Maybe you're an entrepreneur. Maybe you only have 2 or 3 people working for you. Maybe you're a CEO. You got 20 people with different people in different departments, running different tasks. And nowadays we all have VAs. So maybe you have 3 or 4 VAs in Australia, another 3 or 4 VAs in South America or Canada, all working on projects. What's the bigger purpose, right? Working together on projects and things. But how does it impact their family, right? Their community, their children? Amazing introspection when we focus on this. This outward focus often leads to a deeper sense of purpose than any of our introspection. I have a really cool, unique visualization I share in the Cliff Divers Edge channel, and it's all about going up because I like to skydive and I like to do all the sort of the adrenaline sports. So we go up in that prop plane 20 or 30,000 feet in the air and look down, right? How am I impacting the little city around me, the little community around me? Right. So that's sort of the look down. I call it the skydiving view here at the Cliff Divers Edge. A real quick case study here from Mark, who's a CEO of a manufacturing company. So he was stuck in this why trap, right? So he kept asking why I feel so disconnected from my work, why a success wasn't enough. So it was exhausting and demoralizing is how he puts it. So through the Cliff Divers Edge program, Mark shifted his focus to the Ikigai framework, changing from why to what. And when he discovered what he loved, mentoring young entrepreneurs, what was he good at? Streamlining complex processes is really what he was good at. What the world needed, sustainable manufacturing practices. What could he be paid for? Consulting and eco-friendly industrial solutions. So by integrating these elements, Mark transformed his company and reignited his own personal passions, right? So we get out of that rut. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? That's why I love Ikigai, finding a purpose or tapping in just the 4 stages. So Mark stopped asking why and started asking how I could make a difference. And it changed everything he became. And he started beaming and glowing and just being more, what would I call it, alive. Beyond why lies your Ikigai. Sort of rhymes. I was writing this podcast and I was like, beyond why lies your Ikigai. As a successful leader and a CEO and a business owner over 40, you've earned the right to feel fulfilled and energized by your work. But often, we're not, We're unfulfilled, After a long day, sometimes we put in 12 hours, 14 hours, 16 hours. It's still 10 o'clock and you're asking yourself, why am I doing this? What's the ultimate purpose here, I'm struggling to really be passionate about what I created 5 or 10 years ago. And it comes from aligning your actions with your Ikigai, your reason for being. And we are talking about today, asking the big what questions. So if you got a pen or a phone, just write it in a big, or you can even draw what. So you come back to this video, come back to your notes, you just write out 5 what questions. What ways am I going to connect with my child when I get home from it? What ways am I going to surprise my wife or my husband when I get home from it? What ways am I going to really find true inspiration this morning? What? So we shift from the abstract questioning to concrete action, discovering the unique intersection of your passion, your skills, and value and creation, reigniting your enthusiasm for your career and your life, from your family and your community. Learn practical strategies to live your Ikigai every day. That's like a must, right? Every day, right? We teach here in the Cliff Diver's Edge, every morning, do something you love, right? No matter what, no excuses. Don't let another day pass feeling stuck in the why loop that we were talking about today. Right? Join fellow CEOs and business owners who have transformed their lives through the power of Ikigai and the Cliff Diver's Edge Academy, and take the leap towards a life of purpose and passion. And hop in, or what we call springboard, and soar beyond your limits today, and prepare to dive into the future where purpose and profit align perfectly. Click on the link below and we'll see you inside so we can springboard and soar beyond your limits. Want to know more about the Cliff Diver's Edge transformational 30-day program led by me, Edison, your personal ascent pilot? Then check out this video right here where I teach you how to unearth your passion and carve out your truest radiance. I break out the whole program in our 7 steps, our Cliff Diver's Edge metamorphosis from blurred to crystal clear Cliff Diving Edge Academy. Have a look right there and we'll see you inside.